Hello peeps, I'm back. This is Kimberly Purpose and welcome to my channel. I'm on the third part of this series. Hopefully this will be the last part. I got a little long-winded. This is about the Cherokee Indians of Georgia, the Aborigine Indians of Georgia. And I'm talking about the Cherokee Indians. Now, on this particular on the first two videos, I talked about two other books, the Dawes Commission and also the Cherokee Diaspora. I talked about this book as well. Now, in this video, I want to focus on this almanac here. The copy of the book is down here on the left-hand corner of the screen. I'll point it to you right over here. And it's written by Eric Holtz. And he wrote this particular book. Now, I was explaining how the Europeans, I did some research. I wanted to see when the Europeans came into Georgia, and they arrived in Georgia in 1521. So, and that was, during the late 1400s and the early 1500s was around really the 1500s. That was when the Aborigine Indians started disappearing and leaving Georgia. And, they always say, oh, they just miraculously disappeared, these Indians. And then all of a sudden the Mongoloids came in. The Mongoloids came later. And they just say all the Indians just disappeared all at once. And I was just saying that I believe in my theory that these Indians did not just disappear, that the Europeans wanted the land and killed them and probably put them in slavery. More than likely they did, because this sort of lines up. I'm going to have to do a little bit more research, but I believe that right around the time when slavery started to increase, they say 1600s, which is a lie. I believe it happened during the late 1400s, beginning 1500s. That's when there had been a spike going into the Caribbeans. But, yeah, and here in Georgia, that's when they started having these plantations, popping up, But anyway, it says here at the very top, let me move this arrow. It says, an account of the designs of the trustees for establishing the colony of Georgia in America in 1733. So they officially did the colony, have a colony of Georgia in 1733. But really, technically, if you'll think that, you'll think, that date would throw you off. And if you look at 1700s when the Mongoloids came down, you would think that the Mongoloids here, it was always here the whole time, and they were the ones that were here when the earlier settlers came, which is not true. They were darker complexion people. They had some Aborigine Indians in that tribe. But anyway, because they mentioned down here 1521. But let's continue. It says by about 10,000 BC, Paleo Indians, the first people to inhabit North America, had settled through the continent, including what is now Georgia. They began a small group of nomadic hunters and gatherers. Okay? Now, these people are the Paleo Indians, are actually the Aborigine Indians. These are the people that were, as it's already been proven through archaeology, they have found archaeological bones down in Brazil of people who were, who came from Australia. They were Aborigines. They were black people. They were copper colored people. And so it's been proven that the people that moved into the Americas are actually related to the Aborigines of Australia and the Pacific Islanders. So, yeah. So these people over here were, during the Paleo Indians were actually the black Indians. They were not the Mongoloids. The Mongoloids came in a lot later. They did not come here 10,000 BC. See, they never mentioned that, but that's the truth. They just gave over the truth. The first Indians that came over, the people that came over and inhabited the Americas in 10,000 BC were the Aborigines. I believe the Clovis people, which I believe are the Mongoloids, they came later. So there it is right here. Let's go on to the second paragraph. It says, by the Mississippian period, 900 AD through 1550, permanent settlements were established. Most included a number of large mounds, which may have been used as a basis for temples and other important buildings, as well as for burials. See, this tell you right here, 900 AD through 1500 AD. See, we were here. No, Aboriginal Indians were here. If the Mongoloids came, they were here too, I believe, but the Aborigines was here as well, which is oftentimes not mentioned in history books. No one is really sure what happened to the Mississippian mound builders. Of course, everybody knows they were enslaved, but even before European arrived, the town was mostly been deserted, which is a lie. They were already here. Georgia's history began with that mystery. See, there they go, whitewashing, hiding the facts. They were here. That's, because it's been proven that in the slave trade, there were not that many, Africans brought over from Africa. That has already been proven through the Emory research. And it's been proven through their database that there were not that many Africans brought over. There were indigenous Aborigines that were here, and they are the ones that were enslaved. When the Europeans first arrived in 1521, there were about a dozen Native American groups in Georgia. See, there were a lot more. They claimed there were 5 Native groups all over the Southeast, which is a lie. So now you see another lie right here. They finally telling the truth. It was a dozen. So that a dozen means 12. So there were 12 tribes here in Georgia alone. So if there was 12 tribes in Georgia and they including other states, then there was even more tribes than they claim it was. So those 5 tribes that, that they claim are all the tribes that were here, there's another lie that's being covered in smoke screen with more lies. But anyway, let's continue to the end. It says here, a dozen Native American groups in Georgia. The largest were the Cherokee and the Creek. So, yeah, these two are the largest groups here in Georgia. And off to the side here, Native Americans of Georgia, Cherokee, Creek, Savannah, Timucua, Westo, Yamakra, and Yamansi. And I already know, I've been reading up on the Yamansi and Indians. They were enslaved. They enslaved a lot of these Indians, and they, because they were fighting them in the 1700s. And they were Aborigines, and they threw them into slavery. And some of them they sent overseas, not overseas, but into the Caribbeans. Just like into the Virgin Islands, just like they did all the rest. So that's what I want to share with you all. This almanac, it has been whitewashed pretty much, especially when they scathed over the fact that Aborigines were here. And they didn't even describe who the mound builders were, which were the Aborigines, and more than likely the and they coincide with the Mongoloids as well. So, yeah. And they probably, these two groups built these temples and stuff, and they just, they give recognition to the Mongoloids, but they're not giving recognition to the Aborigines who were here as well, and who was before the Mongoloids. And really, we really should be the ones getting recognition for some of this stuff too. And yeah, which is pretty sad. But that's it, you all. That's what I want to share. That's what happened to the Aborigines. I'm looking at the research. Please like this video and don't forget to subscribe. And I would love to hear what you all think. And until next time, peace and be blessed. Bye-bye.